Hello and welcome to I forgot to ask you guys what episode this is.
Leave it in.
77. Is that right? I saw it on the sheet, but I can't even trust the sheet. I can't trust it.
That's right.
Okay,
I was
episode
in there
77
an hour beforehand. I was hacking into the mainframe.
Taylor hacking into the mainframe, and it didn't even help me. I still failed. Episode 77 of the Solo Gamer Podcast. My name is Ian. I'm, of course, joined by my brand new 2026 cohorts. Taylor, welcome in. Good sir, welcome back. Happy New Year, my friend.
Yeah, welcome. Happy New Year. Excited to be back.
Excited to have you, man. Kyle, what is up? How are you feeling about our new lease on life for the Solo Gamer Podcast in 2026?
Fantastic, man. I'm excited for what's to come here, and just happy to be back with you guys, chatting it up, talking about what's going on in the gaming universe. Let's get after it.
Yeah. I've been really. I realized that I definitely needed a couple of weeks to just not have to worry about the editing and posting and finding the time to get on and record and do it all. It's just like there's so much going on for us during the Christmas and New Year's breaks, with just like we have lots of different groups of family that we don't all get together in one big group. So we're driving here, we're going there, we're going back, and it's just busy. I mean, all the football, obviously there's like football practically every night of the week by the end of the year.
Yeah.
They're like NFL Thursday night football, NFL Black Friday, NFL Saturday night, NFL Sundays, NFL Monday night football. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. We're about to get football on Tuesday.
Blitz,
dude, I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday are the last remaining bastions of no NFL football. So that does take up a lot of time, especially since Kyle and I have been doing the other show, just kind of on the side, doing a kind of a little practice for our just to get our football talking wheels going, gears churning, if you will. So it's just been a lot of fun, and I'm also just I feel energized. I feel ready to be back. Got the whole. It's not really a resolution for me for New Year's. It actually, it sucks. The whole New Year's resolution thing, it's tough because most people fail, and understandably, me included. But it's just like the way that life worked out this year is like right when it could have been the middle of June, and the events that were happening over the last couple months or last few weeks still would have come to an end, and I still would have kind of been like, all right, I got to get back onto my shit and stop eating like crap and move my body around a little bit. And it just happened to land like right after New Year's. So I'm just not going to call it a resolution or anything like that. That's not what it is. I'm just going to pretend like it's not the first week of January. I have not gone to the gym yet because I know the first couple of weeks are nuts. So I'm going to try and probably go in this weekend and see how it's going. I know, man. I know, but So today should be a lot of fun. Taylor had the idea of kind of starting the year off just talking about what the year kind of looks like for new releases and what we're most excited about. And of course, we'll kick it off as we normally do with everything we're playing. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm playing right now, and I have been having a really good time, even though I feel like I'm doing something. I'm doing things I shouldn't be. To an extent, so that's okay though. Have you guys been able to play a whole lot of games over the last couple weeks? Or sometimes the holiday season is slow and you get a chance, and other times it's busy and it really cuts into it. Taylor, what's been going on in your world, man? What have you been playing since we last spoke?
Yeah, man. The holidays, thankfully, have been a great time for me this last couple weeks to get some good gaming time in. But I feel like I've been very unfocused. So I've talked about the app that I use a lot to kind of track my backlog and kind of the stuff I've been playing over the last couple weeks. And I kid you not, I could go through it right now. There's probably like 8 games that I started up like over the holiday break and was like, well, if I play like 2 or 3 hours of it, then I'll kind of really put it on this list. And then it ended up being like 6 games turned to 7, turned to 8. So I've been really playing a lot of different stuff and having a sampler of a lot of different things, but I
Same.
narrowed it down to 3 things that I like kind of like have really been trying to focus on. And some of these are games that I talked about in the weeks prior, but some of them are really close to finishing up, I think. So starting off the year, I think that the game that I'm the closest to probably finishing is Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch 2, which I've had a lot of fun with. Just, classic Nintendo platforming masterpiece. Um, you know, done by the team that did Mario Odyssey. So the same thing that you can expect from, that game translates really, really well into this one. And I like it. I don't know if I would necessarily say I love it more than I'm probably one of the people I think that's maybe a little less hot on it. Um, my main criticisms of it being that I don't think it feels very Donkey Kong like. I think it feels more like Donkey Kong in Mario Odyssey. So it's kind of doesn't have like a distinct flavor that I think a Donkey Kong game should really have. Um, but from what I hear, I think I still have probably maybe 5 hours left to go of it. So I should be able to finish it sometime this week. So I've had fun with it, but I think it's got its issues. And, if I was to put it in like a top 5 of 2025, it's probably like in the 5 spot squarely somewhere in there.
Okay.
So it's been good. One of the games I also started playing recently is Avowed, which was a game that I was excited to kind of give a chance to. It kind of came out at a really weird spot in 2025 where it was a little earlier in the year. I was kind of in between jobs and couldn't really afford it at the time. And I would have had a Series X to play it, but I ended up selling mine and then rebuying back another one because I found one for like $300, which was like, I was like, I'm not spending any more than 300 on one. If I can find it, I will get it. But if it ends up being any more expensive than that, there's no way I can do it. So thankfully, over the holidays, I found one for 300 that a guy sold to me off Facebook Marketplace. So picked that up and I've just been playing a lot of Game Pass on it. It's pretty much been my Game Pass machine and will probably remain that way. I don't know if I'm going to end up building back up my collection there, at least from a physical sense. But it's been nice to have the backwards compatibility and the access to Game Pass in general. So I've been using it to play like a lot of first party stuff for Xbox, which is why Avowed's on the list. So I'm having fun with that. I definitely think it's a game that's worthy of the criticism it gets. For what it's worth, I don't think it's an amazing game, but as a fan of the Pillars of Eternity franchise, I think it fits into that universe really, really well. And it just kind of speaks to me on the level that it's a fantasy universe that I think differentiates itself enough from, something like an Elder Scrolls or, like a Fallout or something to that effect. Like, I just think it has really, really interesting unique elements that make up the Pillars universe. And so to see it in kind of a 3D environment, I think is a cool idea. And the game almost kind of feels to me as if like you took the CRPG and just like panned the camera down and made it like first person. So for better or for worse, I think that some of the non-interactive elements are almost kind of like reminiscent of something like a CRPG, but I don't know if maybe you got that same sense when you played it, Ian.
I got the sense that it felt, it kind of reminded me a little bit, not in gameplay, but the feeling I got from the world was similar to Breath of the Wild, which was that it just, the vast majority of it is just a map, and you're just running around the map. And like every now and then you'll come into a town or whatever, but like all the NPCs are frozen solid and stuck to their one spot. I just think I don't know. I don't know what it was. It felt like a multiplayer game because it was
Yeah.
that had been kind of like thrown together with duct tape to be something else, and it didn't feel bad. I wasn't hating it, and there's a part of me that kind of wants to go back because I am interested in the universe. I think some of the lore is pretty cool, but I just didn't really care for the characters that much. I thought a lot of the attempts at humor and wit fell really flat. So I just wasn't super into the writing, and the world just felt kind of lifeless and uninteresting for the most part. I thought the combat was pretty fun.
Combat's
And
awesome.
Combat was really cool. I'm a big fan of kind of the, I don't know if I want to call it new wave, because some of the games I'm thinking about are like 10 years old now, but sort of the new wave RPGs that a lot of people don't like, the more accessible, hey, whatever you're going to use, you're going to improve, sort of like Skyrim, and ESO is sort of like that, where you can just, yes, there's a min-max, but there's also a lot of freedom to kind of create your own combination for combat. You can be arranged in melee, you can be magic and guns, you can be, it doesn't really restrict you or punish you for trying things, and I always really appreciate that. So I think the design was pretty good. The story just didn't hook me. I didn't really care what was happening. I felt like a lot of the voice acting was kind of hit or miss. And I thought the writing was pretty bland and uninteresting, and I kept waiting for it to like, oh yeah, I was thinking about it when I wasn't playing it. I just never really found myself thinking about it when I wasn't playing it. But all that said, I probably only played for like 5 or 6 hours, so it's probably worth another chance at some point.
For sure. Yeah, I think moving forward, I would say if you are a fan of like an action RPG with really, really good combat, and you just kind of go into the game expecting that specific experience, I think it could be really good. But outside of that, I would say if you're like a fan of like Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, I think you'll really, really like this one. There's elements in this game that suggest that the events of Pillars of Eternity 2 happened like not too terribly long ago, which is really, really interesting. So I'm hoping some characters pop up from those games that I'm familiar with. So, but I've been having fun with it. I will say I'm not like trying to do like a completionist run or anything like that. So I haven't found like a ton of the side quests to be super, super fun to do, but I'll do like 2 or 3 of them to kind of get my character like appropriately leveled, and then I'll go do the next story quest and kind of like rinse and repeat. So
Yeah.
It's been fun though. I've had a good time with it. I think that was kind of one of those games all throughout this year that I was like, it seems like it's getting decent scores from critics, but like really bad scores from like the audience that's playing it at large. And I was like, I have a feeling I'm actually going to like it more than I think the consensus would. So
That's good. Yeah, for me, it was just kind of like, it just feels like which is actually what it is. It feels like a partially completed project. It just doesn't get really deep in any avenue of the game. You can tell how they had to kind of just quickly put it all together, because just the way that things progress in the game, the way that you level up your items and skills, all of it is very linear. None of it ever really changes. So from the beginning to the very end of the game, the process in which you become stronger is exactly the same throughout that. And so it does get kind of old, where it's like the typical, it feels like an MMO that was forced to be like a single player, is the way that it kind of feels to me, where it's like, I need a specific resource to upgrade this weapon. Okay, now that I'm to the next level in the next tier, I now need 3 of that resource to create this new resource, but I need 3 of those specifically so I can blend them in to make that next tier of a resource. It's very straight. It's like, it felt like I was like kind of like playing ESO in that sense, but it's like just strictly a single player game, which is no knock to ESO. It's just like a different style of game, right? And then added on to that, where like, it's definitely like the side stories are really irrelevant. They're just extra tasks to gain XP or get new items. and the characters are not really well thought out. Again, it's just like there's hints of like, oh, this has a lot of potential, but you could feel it never got finished.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited too that I think that they announced that it is getting a sequel, which is nice. I think that that's a good opportunity for them to kind of learn not to change course so late in the game. I think that Avowed 2 will be like squarely a single player RPG, and I think it'll be kind of the game that we wanted it to be. But I'm having fun with this one too. So
yeah, it is fun. I had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Like the art style is cool. It's
a
very
very pretty game.
Pretty game, kind of cartoony, but not. I don't mean that in a pejorative way at all. It's just sort of, it has kind of a timeless look to it. I think it'll look good for a long time. You know.
Yeah. It's colorful. I think that's one of the things that that sets it apart for me too. For like some of the other like big fantasy universes out there, is like it was kind of a drastic change of tone. I remember if you go and play Pillars of Eternity 1 and you see kind of that art direction and style that got going in that game. Yeah, it's like grimdark fantasy. And then like Pillars of Eternity 2, granted, takes place in a different continent, so it's not obviously going to look the same, but it is a lot more colorful, a lot more, has a little bit more of a stylized, almost like cartoony art style to it as well. And I remember that was kind of one of the initial hurdles for me in getting into Pillars 2, is I was like, I don't know if I'm jiving with this art style necessarily, but I think that they've cemented it now that is kind of their art style for that universe, and I think it's grown on me a lot.
I definitely took advantage of the very interesting character creation because of the godlike thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting. Most people on YouTube that critiqued the video they said, "Oh, I didn't want to look like this. All those weird mushrooms. I don't like that." And so I just look normal. And then you go through the game, and everyone's like, "Whoa, you're an interesting looking fellow, or godlike, huh?" And if you just make yourself look like a
regular guy,
some Stanley Johnson out here, it's like, why would this person be talking to me like this? So I really went all out with it. I made a character that it's the one where their face is covered up by like a big piece of wood, basically.
Yeah,
like all you can see is their mouth. Their nose and their eyes are totally covered by wood, and I gave him the dreadlocks.
That's sick. I did the same thing actually.
Kind of had a predator look, and I was like, "Well, I mean, if this is what if my character is supposed to be kind of catching people off guard, I'm going to go all the way with this thing and and do the role play of it." So yeah, even just talking about it makes me feel like, maybe at some point I'll go back to it. But there's a lot of other games on my list that I would like to play first, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then there was a third one on your list, right, Taylor?
Yeah. This one I won't talk too much about, but I picked up Monster Hunter Wilds on sale on Amazon. So I just got that in the other day. As I've mentioned before on the show, I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter World. That was kind of like the game that really like got me into this series and kind of this genre. And I think that this offers basically the same kind of experience as Monster Hunter World. It's just kind of more of that, but it looks prettier and runs a lot better on PlayStation 5. So I'm not too terribly far in it. I think I'm like maybe a little less than 5 hours, but I just did a couple of like the starting monster hunting quests or whatever. So I'm already in the gameplay loop of like, they have kind of a story in there that's a little bit of like window dressing as you go through it, but like for the most part, it's really just designed for you to like be a gameplay experience, get in, have fun, slay monsters, and then, get out and then craft new weapons and armor based on that monster's appearance. So like you'll like hit a dragon type, monster and get like scales that'll allow you to create like a male armor. So it's just really cool, really fun. I've playing a different type of character than I normally would for a Monster Hunter game. I'm actually using a bow and arrow in this one and finding it to be like really, really fun. So I don't know why, for some reason, whenever I play an RPG, I almost never play a bow and arrow kind of archer character, save for like a stealth archer.
Assassin. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, yep.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls is the only time I do it.
I think it just feels sort of out of place a lot of the time. It's like, it's cool in certain circumstances, but if I'm in like a tightly confined space, like a cave or a dungeon or whatever, and I'm like, oh, get away, and I'm trying to shoot people, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I feel like that's why a lot of the time I don't do it.
Yeah, well, I think maybe that's the thing too, because like I'll play an archer character if there's good like dodge mechanics in it, because I don't know, whenever you play a game kind of like Elder Scrolls or something where you don't have like a dodge or like a dash backwards or something to kind of get some separation from the enemy, it doesn't feel all that great to do it at close range, you know? So and usually I like kind of being a little bit more like up in the action. I'm like pretty much every RPG I play, my favorite character is a sword and board paladin. So it's a little out of my wheelhouse, but I'm finding it really fun for this game. So
I think the type of game really matters too, because when I think about other games where I could become a ranged character, like let's say like Dragon Age or something, you're in a squad, and for me, when I'm playing a character who is the main character, right? To me, it doesn't make sense that I'm like in the back lines, like
yeah,
shooting a bow.
You guys go get him.
Yeah, you guys go get him. At least with a mage, you're like controlling things, right? And you're
wait,
casting
get out of the
spells.
way, get out of the way.
The range guy is literally like, I'm just doing damage, shooting arrows. Like, hopefully you guys do your job, otherwise we're all screwed, you know. But I'm the main character. Like,
It's
so
like,
to me, it doesn't make sense when I'm in a squad. But if I'm solo, then I'm the solo assassin, and I can kind of get into that, you know.
Yeah, what is it about that? I feel like having a main character be like a bow and arrow using character, like it feels like it has a little less.
There's nothing
to it
personal about it. You know, if you think about like Lord of the Rings, right? Legolas is this badass in the films especially, but he's a badass in the books too. But that's kind of all he does. He's, you know, this deadly accurate archer, but it's kind of difficult to ramp up the stakes when you're not in a personal battle with the enemy. Gandalf is right there on the bridge with his staff, casting the magic and you know, keeping this massive ancient demon at bay, or Aragorn is going up against these massive Uruk-hai with the sword, and he's right up in their face, and he's having to survive melee with them. Like, there's just something about the way that it captures the heroism and stuff. It's like, what, you know, I don't know. It just feels weird just standing back there shooting them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do
Horizon
you film
does it
that?
well.
Horizon does it super well, and I think that's mostly because of the enemies that you're fighting.
Yeah.
There is melee in that game as well, but yeah, I mean, you're fighting these giant monsters, these giant robots that you'd have to keeping your distance is, you get one swipe of a big old metal tail and you're toothpaste on the ground, you know? Like that.
And there again, actually, I think the squad tactics make a difference, right? Like,
yeah, Horizon, you're solo, to your point, Kyle.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's just Aloy. So, God, I really want to play Forbidden West.
It's good. I liked it.
Yeah, I got to figure out kind of my plan for this year for games. I'm excited to get into that. Cool, man. Well, you'll have to keep us posted on how your adventures are going in Monster Hunter and Avowed as you keep going. Kyle, what have you been up to, man? In fact, you know what's funny is sometimes you and I will hang out and just chat and naturally talk about games. We talk a little bit about games, but we've talked about nothing but football. I don't know what the fuck you've been playing, man. Whenever I see you, you're coming over for a football game, and we're completely enraptured in that. So
yeah, dude,
I have no idea.
Especially with this, with what's at stake, man. It's been hard to care about anything other than football right now. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit here and there. Playing a lot of Total War. They had the new DLC come out. What was the name of that? The Tides of Torment.
Yeah, man.
So far, I've played the Sea Lord Allen and the Denied. That's the High Elf and the Slaanesh factions. Both were pretty cool. I think Sea Lord Allen is very unique, and I've really enjoyed it. It's definitely needs to be kind of patched and reworked a little bit, because he's got like some unique resources that you can easily run out of real fast. and then you're just kind of like sitting there for like for me it was like 30 or 40 turns until I could break that wall and finally like find more of that resource. So that was a
That's a
little
long time.
Yeah, it was a really long time where I'm like, all right, this is getting boring because I need to get this resource and continue progressing. Still a lot of fun though. I'm on to Sail the Faithless, the biggest part of that patch. You know, the new Norska legendary lord. He's cool. He's got a lot of stuff that he can do to the campaign in general. Kind of like similar to the Tzinch faction. They can kind of do some weird stuff where they take a settlement or make your settlement lose like 80% of its income, stuff like that he's able to do. That's really cool. So very different play style because he's kind of a sorcerer and not really trying to just go to war all the time. There's a little bit more politics involved in that and finding other ways to fight. So that's been kind of fun. And then I've actually started up playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, seeing the Game Awards and seeing the new game, and then you guys were asking me about it, and I'm like, actually, I probably should touch up on it a little bit. It's always a fun time.
I want to go back to it too.
Yeah, it's actually I have it on my iPad because it's been in the Apple Store for years now. It's usually what I play when I'm on a long flight.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing that again. Just getting into the like, I really really enjoy those turn-based tactics and the way that you're able to utilize the environment and kind of figure that all out. So it's making me think that I need to get into Baldur's Gate 3 again and try that again. But dude, I really, the thing is like Divinity Original Sin 2 is like really nice because there's a lot to do, but it's not super complex. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 just goes to another tier of complexity where even though it's a turn-based game and it's slow pace, you're doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to play Baldur's Gate 3, but I honestly really want to play it with somebody else and do like a multiplayer thing.
I was gonna say we could do a multiplayer campaign. Us three.
It'd be much more fun because there's honestly a lot of scenarios in there where it felt overwhelming, and I felt like it would be helpful to have another mind involved and like another person on the controls who can control a player while I'm controlling, so that we can both do things at the same time. Because otherwise you're like micromanaging a lot in Baldur's Gate 3 and like, let me move this guy here, put this guy here. Okay, he pulls this lever. Now he moves over here. Yeah. So it's like if I had somebody with me to just do it at the same time and we're talking it out, I feel like the game would run a lot smoother. So, yeah, I think it'd be fun if we kind of like tried to play it out that way.
Dude, I'd be totally down for that. I've still never played a multiplayer Baldur's Gate campaign, so
I love the idea of it, but the reality of being able to coordinate enough play sessions to get through a 100-hour RPG, it's one of those things where it's like, let's do it, and then we play like 2 times, and then it just never happens again.
It's like an actual,
and that would be mostly my fault. I just, it's just so hard for me to like, on top of recording podcasts, and living life is. It's like it's one thing if I'm playing a game by myself, I can play it at literally any time that I have the opportunity. There are some. I mean, I love playing like something like Total War or whatever. Multiplayer campaign is a lot of fun because you can just jump in, and even if you only play a few times, and if you play 5 or 6 hours, you're still going to have some fun moments and stuff, even if you don't play the whole campaign all the way through.
That's fair.
I would hate for you guys to be like, oh, well, it was really fun, but Ian never jumps on, so.
Yeah, no, that's funny though.
That's the end of that.
I was just thinking, Baldur's Gate 3. We're gonna do an experience point in 2050. Then at that point,
yeah, right, exactly. That'd be sick. I mean, it'd be fun. Also, how does that impact the storyline? Because like I'm doing my playthrough that I had started that I'm gonna keep. I've started the game a couple times over the last couple years, and every time I've come back to it after a long wait, I've restarted with a new character. The character I made last time I really, really like, and I'm into the story, and I'm not going to restart. I remember I played through the first couple hours of that game so many times that I've memorized it. So I don't know how that would mess with, like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I think it is important
story-wise.
to have three companions who are like the main, from the actual game that they've created. I do think that makes a difference because that even happens.
So one person would need
in Divinity.
to be
In Divinity Original Sin 2, it's the same. It's the same format. Like your character is the character you create, and then there's three companions, which you can create your own, but then it takes out a big chunk of the story because these companions are a big part of it and the way you interact with them. And
does it mess with the voice acting? Like if I played, Will or whatever, like, do I choose what he says in dialogue? Like who controls the dialogue and how?
No, I think
whoever initiates the conversation controls the dialogue,
and then the other two people would just be watching.
Yeah, that's essentially how that would work.
So the two of the three people would only just be controlling a character like Will and Karlak or whatever, just in combat and motion.
Yeah, essentially, but we'd all be watching it live.
I think you can make decisions. I forget how they do it exactly, but I have to imagine it's like in Star Wars: The Old Republic, they have like a system where you get into conversations and then it does a dice roll on like who responds to the next dialogue option. And then one person in the party gets to like make the altering decision that like everybody else has to follow. So it's almost kind of like an actual D&D campaign. Like,
so maybe multiplayer is different. I just know in single player, it's like for sure whoever initiates the conversation has to carry the conversation that whole time. Even if it's your companion, you have to like choose the dialogue as
if you're controlling. Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what I was thinking about, because the problem with doing that, if you accidentally have control of the non-player character, like the non-created character, it cuts out whoever you're controlling. Their audio, their dialogue is gone. The voice actor you can't hear what they're saying anymore because you're controlling what they're saying. And that sucks because the performances are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I would.
Well, that was always my That was always my only thing that I didn't like about Baldur's Gate is why is it that only one person can be involved in the conversation in these conversations? That kind of irritates me because I'd like my companions to jump in at certain points and maybe take advantage of what their skill set is, because maybe one person is, obviously like the wizard is going to know more about magic and be able to step in and kind of take over that conversation, and vice versa. Like my guy's usually a barbarian, so maybe he knows more things about what's going on in the wilderness and animals and stuff like that. So that was like my only thing was like, why is only one person allowed in this conversation? We're all four standing here. This is kind of weird.
My the character I made I made a sorcerer with the dark urge background, and the way that impacts the story is fucking crazy so far. So, and I think that's more.
That's unfortunate. One of my favorite characters in the game is the wizard.
Oh yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I forget his name.
Oh, you just mean as far
unless you go double sorcerer.
Yeah, I think he's different. I don't think he's a sorcerer, but I probably wouldn't take him with me as often just because. What's his name? Gale, I think, something like that.
Yeah, Gale.
Yeah, it is Gale. I was just looking it up.
Yeah,
he's got a really cool story.
Well, hopefully you can still get the stories.
Well, they're all great, honestly.
You get I think if you do the Dark Urge too, you get a secret character.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And you can also basically murder all of the main characters like before you can even really get to know them. A lot of them.
And then what? You're just solo? Oh, I guess you create your own.
Not just solo, but yeah. I mean, I don't think you can murder all of them, but I know that you can. When you first meet Gale, and his hand is coming out of the portal, and he's like, "Help!" You can hear him yelling from the other side of the portal, and it's just his arm. Because when you have the Dark Urge, you're constantly fighting this like weird. You don't understand why, but you have this voice that's telling you to do stuff that's not okay. And when he's reaching his arm out, there's all the different options, you know, reach for the arm, pull him through, help him, all that stuff. And one of them is just chop the fucking arm off. And you can just lop his arm off right there if you want to. So
Wow.
So funny.
It's pretty insane. It's crazy the amount of effort they put into that game. And I really do.
Yeah,
really
we all
do
need
wanna
to do
play
it. It needs
It's
to
just
happen.
for me, it's always just been about a time and the fact that I own it. I actually physically own it on Xbox because I wanted the collector's edition. Because the game is just so great, and I just wanted to support them, and they made a physical version, so I bought an Xbox version, but it just feels like a game to play on PC to me. So
Yeah.
I have a Steam save, and it's just hard for me to find the time and the will to come down here and sit down here and play games.
It is cross save, which is really nice too.
It
Yes,
also
yeah,
plays
I
really
can
well
do
on a
cross.
controller, by the way.
Okay, and it looks good. It looks good on the Xbox. Does it, like,
I haven't played it on the
frame rates?
Xbox. I just know that I play Divinity Original Sin 2 exclusively on controller now because it just is so much easier.
oh wow, okay.
They do a really good job of porting it over to a controller and making it seamless.
Yeah,
Good to know.
I agree.
Good
I
to know.
actually originally played it on PlayStation, so
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, maybe I'll have to do that.
Because I'm always the type of person that's like, this is like a PC game, so I'm going to stick with that, like, because the controls seem too complicated. But this is actually the one time where it was like, wow, they were very considerate about making sure that you weren't losing any of the accessibility.
That's good. I like that. It's cool. I'll have to give that a shot for sure. Okay, so you've been playing Total War. You've been playing Divinity 2. Anything else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Not a whole lot of time to do much else
Yeah.
between, football, gym, holidays, taking a lot of trips out to Seattle and having fun out there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Which, I mean, even the Total War thing alone was a lot of time. I played
Oh, yeah.
2.5 campaigns so far, so
That's probably a good
Damn.
40, 50 hours
yeah.
at least. Yeah, I've also been playing Total War, Warhammer. I got back into it just randomly because when you told me, I find that I don't always go for the new DLC lords, but usually along with the DLC lords, they'll kind of rework one of the older factions to kind of refresh them and make them feel a little bit different and more dynamic and just make the campaign feel old. So if you're someone like me that likes certain campaigns, specifically certain factions, you can kind of go back to them and still have a somewhat new experience, or at least kind of a refreshed experience. So with that DLC, they did rework the High Elves a little bit, and that's been fun. I love playing the High Elves. And then, of course, throughout the campaign, if you can make contact with the factions, you can then eventually confederate and have those. You can still play as the new lords as well, as just part of your overall faction as they join you, if you make that happen. So that's been cool.
Yeah,
I've
I really
been
like
enjoying that. I love the High Elf campaign. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying the fact that you can like force the Confederation, it makes it really simple. It's like almost guaranteed. Eventually, everybody is just going to be one faction, which makes sense for the High Elves. So
it totally does, and I like that the way they introduced that was much better. It made a lot more sense. They made it sort of like a political game that you're fighting over these patronage positions, and you can pay money and influence to secure your heighten the level of position you have in these courts, so that it makes it harder for you to be kicked out of these seats and stuff. And the more of them you hold, and the higher, the more likely you'll be able to get these other factions to join you. It's a cool system that makes sense and kind of changes the way you play the campaign a little bit. So that's a lot of fun. I just love. There's something about the High Elves. Oh, sorry, I just got a text here. There's something about the High Elves, like I just like especially like in battle and stuff, where when you got the big line of like High Elf spearmen with the flags and their big tall shields and their spears, I I'm feeling like I'm controlling the army from the very first opening scene in Fellowship of the Ring. You know, where those elves are marching into Mordor along with the men. You know, and you hear the guy go "Rahim" in the background. You're like, oh man, this is so sick. It's something about that is just so satisfying. They're a really fun faction. So, and Ulthuan, their homeland, is just beautiful, and the music is really pretty. It's just a nice like way to spend a few hours. You're just playing on this gorgeous campaign map and all these glistening white towered cities, and I just love it. I love their civilization.
Music is
art
spot
style.
on.
Yeah, the music. That's one of my favorite things about the Total War games. Like I think we've talked about this before. There's specific areas all over the world, and if your camera is in that area, it's going to play a musical soundtrack for that area, and they're all very distinct. So it's just really fun, you know. And they've done that for many of the games. I think it maybe started with Empire.
That would make sense, yeah.
And thinking about it, because I remember Empire when you're in Europe, it's playing like really classical music, you know, like Bach or Mozart style. And then if you go to the Americas, it plays like Native American flutes and kind of like woodwind stuff. And then if you go to India, it starts playing. You hear like like those really cool kind of minor chord. I can't remember the name of the sitar, right? The sitar, guitars, that kind of whole. So they change it. It really changes the music. It really matches the vibe of the area, and it's really cool. It's a small detail, but it goes a long ways. So I've been kind of playing ever since they announced all the Total War stuff. Both all the stuff coming for Warhammer. They announced Medieval 3. They announced Total War Warhammer. 40K, that is. Like, I don't know, just that they had that huge 25-year anniversary extravaganza where they just announced all this shit, and I was just like, oh man, I really want to play it again. So I just been jumping in, and the next big DLC is coming out this summer, and it's going to be basically just a bunch of bad guys. It's like the bad guy DLC. So I've kind of been playing as a bunch of good guys right now, because I think I'm just going to do nothing but all these villains when that DLC comes out. So just been playing as just trying different campaigns as High Elves and Empire and Cathay, just kind of jumping in and just playing different human kind of quote unquote good factions, as good as they get in Warhammer. It's just been fun. It's just, that game is endless fun.
Oh yeah,
for sure. It never really gets old. I did play some Expedition 33 for those for our listeners that voted on what I should be playing next. I've made a little bit of progress. It's been a little slow for me, primarily because I ended up getting into some other stuff. But I don't think I'm very far. I
forget. Did you start over or did you?
No. I just kept playing because I had very clear memory of everything. So you guys can tell me where I am. I don't think I'm very far at all. I got to the point where, you forgive me for not remembering the names. It's been a couple weeks since I've played, and I usually with these kinds of games I play them multiple times and I get to know all the characters by heart. But right now I don't know them all. The warrior that you're supposed to go visit, who's like this big. You end up controlling him on the world map, and he helps you get through obstacles.
Oh yeah.
The big blob guy. What's his name?
Yeah, what's it start with?
I forget his name.
It's like almost like a Spanish
French name.
Like Rocio or something like that, and you have to go, and he's like, when you first get to his lair, he's got some item that his roommate stole, and they're fighting, and you go fight him.
That's right.
So I got through that whole conversation, and now I'm heading. He needs his rocks or something back.
Yeah,
and so we're heading that direction to go retrieve his rocks at some mountain or something.
Okay.
So that's where I left off.
I want to say you're at the midway point, if not slightly before the midway point.
Okay. So probably another 15 to 18 hours left or something like
No,
that.
I think he's got longer than that.
20 hours, maybe.
That
25.
ending feels like you're at the end for like probably 6 hours.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing
it's a
too,
gauntlet
is that
too, man.
I know the
Yeah.
game is like really good, but there's a couple things with this so far, it's making it hard for me to kind of get through it, and it's not because I don't think it's good. It's very good. Like the quality is definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely there. I think first of all, I'm horrible at it. And that does really that's very difficult for me to sit down and be like, because like with something like Elden Ring or one of those games, they're difficult, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing wrong, if that makes sense. Where it's like, yeah, this guy's really hard because he can hit me twice. I just can't make any mistakes, right? Like I just can't make mistakes. Whereas like I just feel like with this game, like it's just like every single enemy has a different thing where I have to learn how to dodge it, and I just can't. I can't fucking dodge anything ever, and I just die. I can't do it. Like I every time here. No. There goes half my health, and it just like it gets me frustrated in a way that like a difficult game, like Elden Ring or whatever, doesn't. Because the Elden Ring, I can just take a break and come back, but it's still a third-person action game. I'm very, very familiar with that, and I know that I can beat these guys eventually. There's something that just like really it just kind of starts to boil my blood, because it's like I'm so bad at this. I'm so terrible. It's sort of like the same feeling I would get if I were to go play Call of Duty multiplayer right now.
Yeah.
I would just get fucking blasted the whole time. I just wouldn't be really any fun. So it's like I'm into the story, and like the lore is crazy, and the art is beautiful, and the characters are really well written, and I love the cutscenes. But then the vast majority of the time is in combat, and I'm like, I'm just fucking suck at this. I'm so bad at this game. And so every time I look at it on my Xbox, I'm just like, no, I don't want to play it right now. And that's been the problem. It's just like, I don't want to get all mad.
If I could give you any tip at all, it's building your characters. Just focus on doing as much damage as possible. The defense and health, totally irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, when you get towards the end of the game, everything's going to one-hit you anyways. So the point of building health,
not, like,
and
I
defense,
just don't even want to play that. That does not sound fun to me.
But if
That
you do
sounds
enough
awful.
damage, there's going to be a lot of scenarios where they don't even get a turn because you just kill them all.
Yeah. The game just kind of feels like a chore.
You'll
it
get
feels like like I'm playing a game on a Texas scientific calculator more than I'm like actually playing a video game.
I think you'll get it. I think you'll get the timing, especially when you keep repeatedly. You'll see some of those same monsters later, and you'll remember that's kind of the timing of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not always random. They only have like a couple set of moves. Maybe some of the more difficult bosses will mix it up, 4 or 5 different types of moves, but most monsters only have 2 different types of attacks.
Yeah.
And you just
I've
learn the
noticed that.
timing of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I would say too, I forget the system or what they call them. I only know them as the Final Fantasy Esper system, because it's like the exact same thing. But you'll get like a little like Esper at the end too that will like help your parries and dodging quite a bit. I already think the dodge window is pretty forgiving too. So if you're mostly doing parrying and you're finding it difficult, I would just strictly do dodging.
Yeah, just dodge. That's what I had to do.
Oh, so you're not even trying to parry? Because when I can get a parry, it does so much damage. Where I was like, "Damn, this is sick."
Because you have to be more precise with the parry is the thing. So if you're having troubles beating that boss, just let go of the parry and just start dodging, because it's way more forgiving.
Yeah, it
But
is.
then
Dodging is definitely easier.
Yeah, once you figure out the timing of it all, then I would say try to parry, because you'll do more damage that way. It's more beneficial. But
Okay.
If you're struggling with this boss, like, forget about it. Just get out
Well,
of the
I've
way.
definitely been putting points into like different things, so it's sucks to know that it's not useful. Like, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, like, defense and health is just not a big deal, unless the item that they're carrying, like Gustav has an item typically where building health does more damage for him. And
Oh,
so
for sure, yeah.
if you scale the health, but everybody else is usually it's just like crit and speed and stuff like that, and just do as much damage as you can because they're weak anyways. And if you get hit in the later game against some of these stronger units, it doesn't matter how much health you put in, you're just
Okay.
going to take a lot of damage.
That's good to know. I'll get through it. I just don't. I'm into it, but I also feel like when I'm done, I was like, ugh, okay. Like I felt like I almost did more of a chore than I had like a good time playing it.
Yeah.
I almost
It is fun,
Like, part of
and
me just wants
especially
to
when you get
watch
it
someone
down.
play it. You know, just like I just want to watch.
Yeah.
The
It
story,
is.
you know?
I love the boss fights, honestly, because the boss fights feel like as if you're like learning the parts to a song. Like I think I like talked about this like earlier last year when I was like playing through Expedition, but I kind of loved that you had like these boss fights that had different phases and you just had to memorize the song to parry them effectively. And then they would have a second phase where I would get to that and then have an awful time because it would just beat the crap out of me. Then I would just have to keep learning that song. So it was like, I don't know. I always thought of every boss as like learning a different piece of music essentially in like a rhythm game. It was
Yeah,
a
for
really,
sure.
really cool system.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll at some point I'll really dive into it. In fact, it'll probably be after I finish up kind of some of these other things I'm working on. I did kind of randomly get sucked back into Mass Effect.
Nice.
I saw that.
I'm already on to Mass Effect 2.
Nice.
Playing and I'm not doing like a super difficult or crazy every side quest playthrough. I'm doing a Fem Shep Renegade full biotic, which is all things I've never done before. And I'm just playing on. Oops, dropped my pen here. I'm just playing on normal difficulty, so it's pretty easy. I'm just sort of enjoying the story and enjoying a whole totally different experience. I mean,
Mhm.
they do a good job. There's sometimes, you know, I don't feel like I'm just strictly stuck on being the renegade at all times, because every now and then the renegade is a complete idiot. And I don't want to be a complete idiot, so I won't choose the options where it's like, this just makes no sense that this person would be in this position of power and influence and importance if they said some of these things. So like when I feel when it's like that, I won't do it. I'll just choose like the middle one. But it's cool. It's been really fun. Man, the voice actress is so good. She's like does a million roles in video games. The voice actress that for FemShep. Oh my God, what's her name? Oh God, it's gonna kill me as soon as I see it. I'm like, how did I not even remember that? Jennifer Hale. Yeah, Jennifer Hale. She does so many games. So that's just fun. She's so talented, and I'm really enjoying that. It's just kind of something I play for a few hours at a time, and it's familiar and cozy. And it was the holiday break, and I brought my Series S with me to the coast, so I don't really like playing like new games on that. It's not a very powerful box, but the S is just so easy to throw in a little backpack. And take it with you to travel and just plug into whatever TV and just play some older games on it. So I also, the other thing, my primary game right now, and this will be the last one, then we'll jump into our topic. My primary game right now is Kyle and Alicia and I recently started the season 2 of Fallout on Amazon.
Yeah.
Really liked the first episode.
Yeah,
and,
really good.
And I think a couple months ago or a month ago or so, I mentioned that I had started a New Vegas playthrough because I knew that they were going to New Vegas and that they were going to make a lot of fun references to it. And I've only have ever played through it one time, all the way back in 2010 or 2011, whenever it came out. And that was the last time I played. I never played it again. And I remember I felt like some of the story maybe even went over my head a little bit back then, or I just don't remember it well. And so it's basically like a Fallout game, and that is widely considered by the community to be the best of all the Fallout games, from a story perspective at least. And so it really kind of feels like a new game to me. I only remember teeny little bits, and I've probably put a good 6 or 7 hours into it. I'm loving it. It just feels like an old school, even though it's Obsidian that made it. It feels like an old school Bethesda game, and Bethesda's not doing well right now. They've been on whatever the opposite of a hot streak is, I guess a cold streak.
Cold streak, yeah.
Really ice cold Sub-Zero streak.
Yeah, I call that an ice age.
Yeah,
they are doing their best to basically just ruin their entire reputation with everyone that's ever played any of their games at the moment. So, it feels really nice to go back and play an old school Fallout like this. I'm just loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm making trying to make a character that's a little bit different from what I normally do. I'm kind of planning out the way because I know they're gonna remaster Fallout 3 first. So I kind of have a plan of what kind of character I want to do for that. And then, which is going to be more of a moral good character with like good, like science hacking and stealth skills and stuff. And just kind of a different, someone who's going to go about fixing the problems of the wasteland slightly differently. And then in Fallout 4, I definitely want to play Fallout 4 again, but somehow Bethesda actually managed to ruin that game technically. By charging $40 for a shitty re-release that actually broke the game. So I don't know if I want to play Fallout 4 right now because apparently it's much worse than it's ever been. So I'm going to hold off on that for a while until that gets fixed, I guess. And so in that game, I feel like because the way they set up the storyline, for me, what I enjoy is basically creating like a John Wick and just being like, I'm going to kill every single person I see until I get my son back.
Yeah.
Cause like, that just makes sense to me. It just the Fallout 4 story is so weird if you don't like just dive right into it and you're like, my son, where is my son? I'm going to grow some potatoes.
You want to liberate this settlement?
Let's settle down. And then like 9 months later, you're like, oh yeah, my baby. Like, it's just like, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like that game is more fun when you really like lean into the role and lean into the story that they kind of give you. And it's fun. It is actually pretty fun to just be like, where's my son? Just killing everyone. And you're just become this mass murderer, just like incredible, because the last thing he saw was his wife and his get killed and his baby had taken away, and then he comes out and the whole world's been destroyed. Like who like how would that not break a person,
Right.
So that's a lot of fun to do that. So in this one, I've just kind of, this guy, like you're not a vault dweller in New Vegas, which I appreciate. So you're kind of just set up as like someone who does lots of odd jobs and like a merc basically. So I created a character with like low intelligence. I'm figured this guy's a wastelander. Didn't get education. He's just been surviving out here. So he's like good at the survival skill, which gets you more hit points for meals that you cook and stuff. He's good at repairing things like weapons. He can repair all this stuff. And he's decent with guns and he's good with melee. And so I've got this wrought iron. It's so badass. Cement block wrought iron, basically like Warhammer. It's like 4 wrought iron bars that you would see like in a building, with a giant concrete block at the end. I'm just destroying people with this thing. It's awesome. It's been fun. It just feels like Fallout and it feels kind of new. And that's kind of my primary game right now. I want to get through that and beat it. And as I'm playing it and watching the new Fallout show and picking up on the references and stuff. So that's it. That's cool. Pretty much all I've been playing.
Yeah, Fallout 4 definitely feels like it kind of pigeonholes you into a specific character that you have to play, which is unfortunate because it's not really revealed until towards the end of the game and when you get into DLC. But the way I envision it, if I play that game ever again, I would probably have like a Cooper Howard character arc. The main ghoul character, where it's like you're coming into it with the right intentions, and then just so much shit happens, and you eventually just become a part of that.
You just lose all of your humanity.
Yeah.
Just like the world has. Yeah.
That's kind of
I like Fallout 4 if you play that role. It's fun. The world does a good job of reacting to that. It's just the rest of it that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, the problem that I had was like when I actually finally played through the whole game, I was trying to be a good person, and then you realize that the story is so bad if you try to like do the right thing all the time.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself in situations where it forces you to be the bad guy randomly, and I'm just like, this is weird. Like, this is not a role-playing game. I have to play a certain type of character. It's very clear.
They did a horrible job of setting that up.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to accept that and lean into it, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's a fun first-person shooter, and it's fun to explore the world. That's is cool. Like, it's a good game.
Yeah, Fallout's just fun in general.
Yeah, for sure. And Fallout New Vegas has been really, really, really good so far. So, yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. Let's dive into our topic here, you guys.
Let's do it.
Kyle was noticing something that I noticed as well, which is like there's a few games that are coming out this year, but fortunately, it seems like there's not going to be, sometimes there's games where it's like 15, 16 games or something in a year. Just like, God, I want to play all of this stuff. I don't know. How do you guys feel when you were looking at this list? Taylor, how do you, when you kind of look through everything that's either has a date for this year or is dated to release sometime this year, maybe not. Are you pretty pumped for what's coming, or are you thinking this is going to be more of a backlog year for you?
I don't know. It's hard. So I know prior to us kind of jumping on here, we were talking about kind of our methodology for how we came up with our list here. So I basically kind of just went through the list of all the games that are set to release in 2026, and I made like a giant list of like just generally everything I'm excited about, with like 5 games that I was like, absolutely yes, this is something I'm super excited for. And I mean, I came up with a pretty good list, honestly, of like, outside of the 5 that I'll be talking about today, there's probably like an extra like 6 or 7 other games that I'm also pretty excited about. So I don't know, from my perspective, I feel like it's a pretty solid year. I don't think I'll be left wanting for anything to play at any point in time that'll be newer. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it's shaping up to be a pretty solid year, I think.
How about you, Kyle? Anything catch your eye?
Yeah.
Are you excited for stuff coming out, or?
There's some games that will be fun. I think there's probably, if I had to pick, there's 2 like for sure that I'm like, all right, I got to play those. But outside that, this feels like more of a, I'm going to have some time to catch up on the backlog a little bit in 2026.
Yeah, which is,
it's kind of nice.
Fine
honestly.
by me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have noticed doing this was a good exercise because, and of course we have some write-ins to get to as well, which we'll definitely hit before we go on our list. But this is, I'm realizing that as I'm getting a little bit older, I don't play very many new games anymore. There's just, my backlog has gotten so large, and I have so many games that I still want to play. I've become a little bit more okay with not playing something. Like the fact that I didn't play Ghost of Yotei right off the bat was telling for me, because that's one a couple years ago I would have told you that's a day one, right? That's a day one, and I still haven't even bought it.
Same.
And but I don't feel that pull of like, you've got to play that. You got to play that like I used to. I feel a little more comfortable with I care more about kind of catching up a little bit. Not that I ever will, but I'll feel more caught up if I'm playing games that came out this year, 2 years from now, than if I'm playing games that came out 10 years ago, 2 years from now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I want to play some of
100%.
those. So I don't even know if I'll play most of this stuff. The only game like the first game I can think of, and this is not even this year, that is like just a drop everything day one. Doesn't matter what I'm in the middle of. I'm taking PTO, like Witcher 4, right? That's, I mean,
Oh yeah.
when Witcher 4 comes out,
across the board.
everything else stops, right? Everything else stops. And I will say Total War is kind of interesting because you can have Total War going along with another game. That Medieval 3 and Warhammer 40K both will also, those will be day one. Most likely day one, maybe day
by the
two
way,
purchases.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff about some Cyberpunk stuff coming.
Oh yeah, well, you mean from CD Projekt?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Witcher 3 is going to get some DLC this year.
And apparently they're planning, they've got some big stuff they're talking about. We'll see if they do it. Apparently they're talking about a trilogy coming out back to back with Witcher 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
and they're doing
within
dual
like a
development or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
Within like a 5-6 year span, they're supposed to be releasing all that, which is crazy to think about.
I hope that means that each game will feel somewhat similar in the sense of like, Mass Effect 1 and 2 was 3 years, and then it was another 2 years after that, right? So in a 5-year span we got the trilogy, and the game's changed somewhat, but not that much. I feel like nowadays you just don't see that anymore.
No.
And I'd be totally fine if they just built 3 games out of the same engine, around the same tech, around the same time, and the graphics didn't get way better every time. Like, fine, that's fine.
100%.
We're probably, this is the Xbox Series X, the PS5, and my PC that I have right now is probably the most advanced gaming technology I'm going to have for a really long time, given the state of the world and the state of RAM and processors and motherboards and just like consumer electronics. We're done. It's over, right? Like, we're not, unless you're truly wealthy, no one's building a gaming PC anymore. That's over with. And I don't think it'll really change. RAM is going to cost you as much as it would cost you to build like a budget PC a few years ago.
Yeah.
RAM. So
yeah,
it's just not really possible. I think PS6 is going to be probably $800, $900. This Super Xbox they're going to come out with is probably going to be $1,200, $1,300. Like, it's not happening. It's just we're done. So this is it. Like, I'm kind of like mentally preparing myself. I'm not going to have any new consoles or any new gaming stuff for, I don't know, probably the next 6 to 7 years. It's kind of what I'm prepping for. So if they're going to make games that all fits onto these modern tech, we'll see. I hope they do. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that.
Agreed.
Let's read our write-ins here, and then we'll get going. Stealing Souls wrote in.
Nice.
I'm excited for an RTS called Wars for Westeros. It's a Game of Thrones RTS that follows a lot of the book's houses as they fight for power for the Three Kingdoms. I'm normally not a huge RTS fan outside of games like Age of Empires 2, but I'm excited to see where this title could take the Game of Thrones series. So I'd have to look at it. I wonder if it's an RTS like Age of Empires or Command and Conquer, where you have,
I don't think so.
a dozen.
I thought it
units
was,
or is it more of like a 4X?
I thought it was like a Witcher style play. At least
I know
the preview showed that. I didn't know they were talking
This
RTS.
was,
I guess it is RTS.
Yeah, this was shown at one of the showcases earlier this year. I think I brought this up on one of our last episodes too. I thought that this was a Total War game, but it's not.
It's an Age of Empires style RTS is what I'm reading. Oh, that's pretty cool then. That changes it. I did put that on my, since we're on the subject, that's one of the games I'm kind of interested to see. I know, Ian, you're kind of out on Game of Thrones, but
totally done. I'm never playing.
Yeah.
but if it's great, I hope you guys love it. I absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
if
interested
it's
in this one,
incredible,
too.
maybe I'll play it.
I still really like the universe is my thing. So, yeah, if they can do something cool with that, I'm a fan of those RTS strategies. I'm here for it. I'll check it out. Probably not buying it day one. We'll wait for like a sale or something. See what everybody else thinks.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone comes, I mean, if someone's coming in and saying it's just like absolutely incredible, and I watch reviews and stuff, like maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, putting the Game of Thrones on there just definitely kind of gets rid of it for me. But that's awesome. I think that looks. I hope they make a really good game out of that. Cream Lord of the Cream. He writes in, the biggest release for me is First Light. Us James Bond fans have been starving for a new game. The last one to come out was 007 Legends in 2012, which is insane. James Bond games used to be like, they almost felt like Maddens, or like it's like they came out it's like they had one every year. 007 Legends in 2012, which capped off Activision's truly abysmal run of the IP after they took it from EA in 2006. It's been since 2005 since we've had a real, proper, great game. So I hope IO is able to pull it off. This is also important to getting new younger fans into the film series, like how GoldenEye did for a lot of people my age. I am also looking forward to War for Westeros. There you go. As a massive ASOIAF nerd and a big fan of the RTS genre, this could be incredible. I have no idea what ASOIAF is.
Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
that's the name of the series. I just wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's leaning a little too hard on like season 7 or 8 of Game of Thrones. So wow, talk about a way to make me even less interested.
dude,
Let's focus on the
worst.
absolute dumpster fire of an ending for that show.
That's the thing that kind of like, I guess for an RTS it makes sense because I was really worried about
going on.
Yeah, everything's going on. I guess that part makes sense. I was really worried about it because I was like, I've seen the show. I've spent a lot of time watching the show. I don't need to do this again. So I was kind of like a little thrown off by that. But if it's an RTS, then it's probably not as much about the story as it is just
right.
No,
playing.
I was thinking you could probably like create your own ending or whatever you'd want with it, because it's so malleable.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I would do what would have been a better ending than what they did was just like, I'll just take control of the White Walkers and just end this.
Yeah, it's just over.
Let's just end this fucking world. Like all of you are just gonna die. That would be cool. Like let's just go kill all of these. Everyone in this show deserves to die. So let's just do that.
Yeah.
Blow it all up.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that would have been fucking sick if they had ended it that way. Honestly, but unfortunately, the White Walker King got a little stabby stab from a little knife, and that was that.
It came and went.
Yeah, man. Who knows? All they needed was a butter knife. You could just kill him. That's it.
Yeah.
It looks like leaning a little too hard on the season 7, 8 of Game of Thrones, when I'd rather it be based off the books in some way to stay away from the stink and mixed feelings of the show. But I'm still looking forward to seeing more. Other games pretty high up there would be Resident Evil 9, Mouse PI for Hire, and Wolverine. I forgot about Wolverine. Is that coming out this year? That game's going to be rated M, which I think is pretty cool. I still haven't played Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm so behind.
It's all right. You can wait on it, I think.
By the way, we were talking about it earlier. The name of that character in Expedition 33 is SK.
SK, yeah.
SK, that's right. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Mtrox wrote in, next WoW expansion drops in March. I actually just got my newest copy of Game Informer today, and the cover art is for the next WoW expansion, which is cool.
Oh yeah. Midnight?
And then
exciting.
Midnight. That's it. And then he also says Total War 40K doesn't have a date just yet. So, yeah, I'm not sure. That's probably going to be 27, feels like. Which is not really that far off. I mean,
that sounds great.
They announced it with basically, it feels like a year and change to go.
I'm so pumped.
Which is cool. Me too.
Yeah.
And then finally, Craig's Game Room wrote in, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, finally a reason to own the Switch 2. That's it. That's all he said.
Good stuff.
Heck yeah.
More Fire Emblem games. Heck yeah. That's cool.
What is that, 32 now? Or
Probably.
Wow. I'm excited for it. Not a top
Yeah,
5,
man.
but I'm excited for it.
All right. Well, speaking of, Taylor, why don't we start with you, man? What are we can do this however you want. I mean, I don't think we're gonna. I personally am not gonna spend very long like on each game.
Yeah.
But so we can either go through our whole list or we can do one at a time. Whatever you want. Just at least give us one of them, or if you want to give us your whole list, whatever works for you.
Okay. Yeah, I can go through my list here. So one of the ones I'll bring up first off, I don't think these are really in any order. They're just like the 5 that I think I'm the most excited about. But gotta go back to Cream Lords right in, because definitely one of the ones I have on my list is 007 First Light.
Yep.
Really excited. I love the Hitman games, and I love the Hitman trilogy from IO Interactive. So I'm kind of excited to see what they can do with a third-person action game. As mostly everybody knows, I think the Hitman games are mostly stealth games, and they're a certain kind of stealth game that it's like more like disguise based than it is really like crouching down and hiding in the shadows kind of stealth. So I'm excited to see what that team can do with a little bit more of a, typical action hero style third person shooter. I think it's going to be a really good time. I'm a decently big fan of, the James Bond character and franchise. I'm not like a super fan or anything like that. I couldn't tell you like some of the finer lore points, and I've mostly watched a lot of the Daniel Craig stuff. So prior to that, I've probably seen like 5 movies that aren't Daniel Craig Bond. So, but yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those situations with a studio that's kind of a match made in heaven as far as like a developer and property is concerned. So yeah, really, really excited. I might need to talk to Creamlord about this like offline, but does First Light sound like a weird James Bond title to you guys? Like, I feel like that doesn't sound like a James Bond, like, you think of like Die Another Day or like GoldenEye and stuff. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's in alignment with that kind of naming convention.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it depends on what First Light actually means when we find out in the game.
Yeah, maybe contextually it'll be a little more meaningful.
Yeah, maybe so. But I just always thought that was a weird title for it. I thought they could have come up with something a little bit more creative. But so yeah, there's that. Of course, I think Creamlord also brought this up to Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9. Also really, really excited for. That'll end up being probably the first really big game that I play this year from my list. I think comes out in like February or something like that. So really excited. We've talked about Leon coming back, which I'm really, really pumped about. Should be a good time. That new Resident Evil trilogy and the remakes have just been spectacular. Excellent first and third person horror games. And I feel like they're making some of the best horror games like really in the industry right now. So really excited to see what they do with that and sort of where the...
I don't think I'll play it this year because I'm catching up still. I got 7 and 8 to go, but I am very excited to hear about your opinions on Requiem. It looks really good.
Yeah, 100%. I'm stoked for it. So another one on my list would be Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis. This was announced a couple weeks back at the Game Awards. They mentioned that they are going to be doing 2 releases, I think, back to back. One of them being Legacy of Atlantis, the other one being, I can't remember. I think it was called like Catalyst or something like that. In 2027, but big fan of Tomb Raider. It's a series that means a lot to me. Some of the first video games I ever played were the Tomb Raider games on PS1, so I have a fondness for that character and that universe. So I'm just excited to get into some third-person parkour, double pistol action. And I'm kind of excited that this looks like it's kind of going back to a little bit more of the campier action hero style that the originals had, while blending maybe some of that new Uncharted kind of more serious cinematic side too. So we'll see if they can pull it off.
I
but
do
I'm
think
excited for
those
it.
the last 3 Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raiders would make for fun experience points because they're kind of quick and they're so
Yeah.
easy and they're just a blast. They're so good. It'd be kind of cool to like play those before we get into the new Tomb Raider.
Oh, I'm so down for that. That'd be a blast.
Heck yeah.
I haven't played. I've played the first 2, but I haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so that would be cool to go back through them. And
Yeah.
the other ones I haven't played since they came out, basically. So
It's been a long time.
yeah. Let's see. Another one on my list would be Saros. I've talked about it before, but Returnal from Housemarque has been one of my favorite games I've played this generation. I think it's absolutely one of those games where if somebody was like justify me buying a PlayStation 5 right now, I would say you definitely want to play it for Returnal for at least one of those reasons. It's just a really, really good gameplay focused thing. I think it's even better when you play it with a partner, with some really, really fun co-op elements. And there is a story to it. I paid a little bit of attention to it, but I think for the most part, I would go into it, looking for a mainly gameplay focused experience. And I just had a blast with that game.
Why did I not know there was co-op?
I think I brought it up the last time we talked about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you and your buddy played it together, right?
Yeah, I didn't play it when it originally launched, and we only really played it once they came out with the co-op mode. I think it was like 8 months later or something like that.
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah.
So it wasn't there at launch, but yeah, you can play it co-op with a friend, and I think it's like a really, really fun way to play the game.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a blast. I think that might actually make me more likely to play it.
It makes it easier, too. I'll say that much. Because you have like a system in the game where if somebody dies, you can kind of bring them back and you don't have to like start your run over, which is really cool. So it makes it a little bit more accomplishable because it is a pretty
incorporate
tough game.
The second player as a story in the story at all, or not really?
No, I don't think so. You basically just play as like a carbon copy clone of the main character, and it's just like 2 of her running around. So I think they just kind of, for the sake of the story, like combine the 2. So
gotcha. That makes sense.
And then my last one here is kind of one that I wouldn't have expected to put here, but I'm getting really, really excited about it. Because I think I might play through some of the other games in the series to get me caught up to speed. But Grand Theft Auto 6, I am really, really excited for it. Never really been a GTA guy. Out of all the Rockstar games, Red Dead is kind of like the series that I really like hang my hat on, and I've never had like a huge interest in Grand Theft Auto, but there's like something about this new game that I don't know. I feel like I'm getting the same feeling of like buying my ticket for like the movie theater and like waiting in line with people to like shuffle into the theater that are like really excited about it,
Yeah.
Kind of feels like one of those game releases that's like a cultural event.
Absolutely.
My girlfriend Anna is a big Grand Theft Auto fan, so she's like really, really excited for it. And so I'm going to use this as my opportunity to kind of like familiarize myself with the series a little bit. So, yeah, while it's not something that would normally be in my wheelhouse, I am really, really excited for Grand Theft Auto. So, hopefully that November release date rolls around with no objections, but I'm excited.
Right. More delays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. It's not like kind of like Witcher 4 sort of a thing, but it's a tent pole thing, right? It's sort of like when a new Star Wars comes out or something, and it's just sort of a cultural event. Not anymore, obviously. Now Star Wars comes out all the time, and it's like everyone's like fucking whatever. But
it's a Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, but back, I mean, when you were talking about being in the line when the theater, right? It's like when Disney brought the first Star Wars, their first Star Wars movie, before we knew what was going to happen. It was just unlike anything else, and you only get games like that every, I don't know, 6 or 7 years or something like that. 6, 7,
yeah.
So it's cool. Like I definitely, I'll probably fold and end up getting that day one. I kind of had it on my honorable mentions, just to be a contrarian, I guess. But we'll see. I remember them saying like, "Oh, we're not opposed to making it $100." Like, well, I'm not spending $100 on it, but they have not actually said anything about that, and I would be surprised.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be $79.99. And you know what? I can guarantee you that they will put enough content in the game to actually live up to that price.
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm in the same boat where I think I kind of fell out of playing Grand Theft Auto games after San Andreas. San Andreas is my favorite one, by far, and then I just kind of fell out of it. But I'm excited to see the impact it has, because obviously, you know, it's just one of the largest games that comes out. Period. I mean, just flat out. I mean, we're talking insane numbers that just shuts down the industry. So I'm excited for that, just to see kind of the impact that it does have, and see if it lives up to the hype, because it's pretty hype right now, and they got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
GTA 5 was really good. If you guys have not played GTA 5, the story for GTA 5 is excellent. That's
what I've heard.
Great game.
I haven't played it. Yeah,
it's so good. That is a like foundational game of the era. It's also it's the second highest selling video game ever. I think it's sold like 220 million copies.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I would definitely recommend playing it. And that would be a very fun experience point before 6 comes out.
Yeah, I'd be down.
It's really good. I think you guys would really, really like it, and it would be fun to go back. I haven't played it since it came out for 360, so 2013, I think. Hey, if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, if that was the last time they won it, the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, I'll play GTA 5 as a nod. Apparently, every time I play GTA 5 is when the Seattle wins the Super Bowl. So
there you go.
See. We'll see.
Well, that means you got to do it preemptively.
What do you mean?
That means we got to do it now, otherwise they don't win the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, I was saying if they win the Super Bowl, I'll play it.
No, I'm just saying.
Now
it'll be too late by then.
Boy. Oh, fuck. Maybe I got to go play it then.
Got to do your part, man. They've been showing up to practice every week.
I know, it's true. I got to do my part. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. What else do you got on your list, Taylor? Or was that your last one?
I think he said that was it.
That's my 5. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle, hit me, man. Hit me with some of the games you're pumped for.
Yeah, man. A couple that I want to start off with. I do the 007 game seems pretty fun. I don't, definitely not like a situation where I'm going to buy it right off the bat, but probably a game that I would pick up later on and play. Like you said, it's been a while since I've seen a really good. It seems like a pretty decent 007 game, so excited for that to be in the mix. I'm really hoping that this means at some point we get a Splinter Cell game. Somebody does it. Come on.
Let's go. I kind of want to go back and play through those.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah. What's another one? So another one that's kind of on my radar that I think I want to play just to play the campaign, not really for the multiplayer aspect that's going to come out of it, but Hell Let Loose Vietnam looks pretty cool. I would definitely like to play through that campaign, especially if there's some co-op elements there. I'd like to play with one of you guys and go through a campaign. That'd be kind of fun.
I think it's just a multiplayer shooter, right?
Is it? Is there any story mode to it?
That's what I thought too.
I don't think so. Hell Let Loose is like a massive, like an MMO shooter, basically. Like big battles.
I'd still be down to try.
I think it's like more like realistic too.
Yeah, it seems grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Like people play it and they take it like really seriously.
I've heard Hell Let Loose is great. There's some great clips of Kevin and Mason playing Hell Let Loose on their streams, and it's very funny.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I'd be down to play that. Gosh, I mean, I can't obviously not mention that we've got Halo Campaign Evolved coming.
That's on mine. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Me, yep.
And just I'm gonna combo them together because it's kind of on the same vein. But Gears of War E-Day, Halo Campaign Evolved.
I forgot about E-Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of those I'm really excited to play. And I'll play Gears of War E-Day with you, Taylor. If
yeah,
you
dude.
Go through that.
That'd be sick if you guys did that, because what I think I would. So Gears of War E-Day also on my list. It would be super cool because it's a prequel. You guys play it. We all play it. maybe it'll have, if it has 3-player co-op, we should all play that
Let's do
together for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down. Yeah.
And then keep going.
Yeah.
I think that would be super fun.
Just like run through the series, basically.
Just run through it wouldn't even be that much, dude. Like the whole series, the first game is like 6 hours long. I mean, the second is like 8, and the third is like 10. I mean, the whole series you could probably play in like 30, 40 hours, or if that. It's not. The only problem is Gears of War 5 is pretty good, and it leaves off on a major cliffhanger, and I don't know what they're going to do with it. So we'll see there. But it is. It's really good. That would be. I can't wait for that. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
me too.
And it's funny because I know that we're just going to be hitting the same stuff here most likely, but
I've got a couple maybe, but I know which one.
Yeah. You mentioned Star Wars, so we got to get into that. I'll start with the one that I'm kind of interested in, just because of the style of gameplay. Star Wars Zero Company seems like a fun game.
That's on my list for sure.
Yeah. The turn-based strategy, I definitely like those type of games, especially when there's ranged elements involved with like guns and whatnot. I really liked XCOM. I really liked Wasteland 3. Wasteland 3 is just actually one of my one of my favorite games over the last, I would probably say, 5 years, is playing Wasteland 3. I've really enjoyed that. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. I definitely will take a look at that. Not first day one, but definitely would be down to play that. And then in the same vein, I mean, how can we not talk about Star Wars Galactic Racer?
Dude,
come on.
I hope that
So
doesn't become a
excited.
letdown, man. What a
Me too.
I know it's not Pod Racer, but what a connection. Like what I mean, that's sort of similar to playing a Nintendo game or whatever. This is such a connection to childhood. I hope it's got really good multiplayer and a really long running single player, kind of campaign thing. Not a campaign.
Maybe like good
you know what I
DLC
mean.
support with like more maps or more
and
racers.
That's fair and not
predatory
and just awful. It would suck if it came out and it was like, you're buying booster packs and all that shit, which it wouldn't be surprised.
Galactic Ultimate Team.
Oh man,
exactly. So that would suck if it's hyper monetized, but if it's mildly monetized and it's really fun, I would definitely pay.
Yeah, I'll pay.
Buy DLCs and stuff. If it's a really fun game and you get packs of racers and maps and things like that, it'd be super cool. It's just one of those games. If it's good, you'll just play it forever. I'm still playing Pod Racer. I mean,
I know that's what I'm saying. Like
on my Xbox.
This feels like one of those games that we go back to for like decades of just like, dude, you want to just play some Galactic Racer right now?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course I do, man.
It's a new lap record.
It's a new lap record. So good, man. So good.
Yeah. And then
Odie Mandrell.
Lastly, for me, obviously this is the one that I probably would day one buy. I'm definitely excited to play Control Resonant. I am so thankful that you had to tell me only about like every single day for like months, but I'm so glad you got me to play Control, because the more I think about it too, this is one of those games where at the time I was playing it, I was enjoying it. It was a lot of fun. I came away from it thinking this is a really good game. But as time has gone, I think back on that game and I'm starting to appreciate it more and more. And I'm like, man, there's a lot of things I really like about that game. So I am excited for the second chapter of that. I'm totally excited. It's just such a uniquely, the best way I can describe it, it's just weird and it's so much fun. There's so many bizarre things going on. It's never really fully explained. It's just, there's a lot of confusion and I'm so here for it. I love it. You feel like you're getting closer, but things are just more confusing as it keeps going, and not in a way to where you like have no idea what's happening. You have a general idea, but there's never like a straight up answer and defining moment that kind of clears up the whole picture. It's all just kind of foggy through the whole game. I like that.
It feels like they do a really good job at capturing the feeling of it's not just like a mystery for mystery's sake. You start to realize that the forces you're dealing with might be a little bit beyond our comprehension as human beings.
Yeah.
And that gives it kind of an air. It almost gives it kind of a horror vibe without it being dark, scary hallway with monsters. But it's like there are times you're just like, this is, how did someone even come up with this stuff? Like, it's just,
yeah, it's really
what
eerie.
is going on, right? It's just, you just want to know more, and every time you learn more, it's satisfying, but there's more questions as well. They do a really good job with that, and I really want to play it again. I know we've talked about this. I want to play it through it again with the DLC and get through Alan Wake 2. That's very high on my list this year, and maybe we can do an EXP for Control with the DLC, because I'd love to replay that. That would be really fun, and then do Alan Wake 2. Because I loved what I played of Alan Wake 2. We just kind of fell off of it. So
yeah, I'd be so down to play that again. And then I didn't even mention how fun the gameplay is. I mean, that's the best part. I mean, obviously the environment, the universe is really cool, and that's something that I've grown to appreciate more and more. But in the moment when I was playing it, I was like, this is some of the most fun I've had with gameplay in a while. It's just a lot of fun just smashing enemies over and over again, and there's like a lot of kind of unique ways to do it because of the fact that your weapon is kind of a, shifting unit that can do a lot of different things. It's like it's a part of this thing that
like
Ian was talking about. This, it's like an outer worldly thing that's like kind of an alien artifact, like you're saying. Like it can be a lot of different things, which you kind of see it in the preview of Control Resonant. His hammer kind of shifts and turns into different things. So
it turns into it's definitely, it's super cool. It's just so original and unique, and it's unlike anything else story wise that I've really ever played or watched or seen or anything. So it'd be cool to do a run. Taylor, you were talking about this. We talked about this last time. I think it'd be fun to do kind of a run through of all of the games that are all connected, right? That would be super cool.
That was on my honorable mentions list, but I'd love to play through the series just so I could get like acquainted with the universe. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, and a lot of these ones we're talking about. It's like even playing through Gears of War or the I don't even know what they're calling, the Remedy universe or something. Like they're all relative. They're all like 20 hours or less. Like all of these games are pretty bite sized. So you could realistically do that. Well, I'll be quick because everything on my list we've talked about, other than one. So we talked about. So my list was Control Resonant, Gears of War E-Day, Halo Campaign Evolved, Star Wars Galactic Racer, Star Wars Zero Company, and GTA 6. Were all the things I had listed. So the only other one that I had that no one mentioned, that it's a game I've been waiting for a really long time, is Replaced. And it's dated. It's been delayed multiple times.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be delayed anymore. It's coming out March 12th of this year. And it is a 2.5D. God, the art style is just beautiful. Cyberpunk action game. The synopsis is uncover the sinister secrets of Phoenix Corporation through the eyes of its own creation, Reach, an AI trapped in a human body against its will. In an alternate 1980s America reshaped by nuclear catastrophe, Phoenix City has become one of the corporation's strongholds, a haven for corruption where outlaws thrive and human life is traded like currency. Step into the role of Reach, expose the corporation's hidden agenda, and uncover the purpose behind your creation. 2.5D cinematic action platformer. And
the art style looks really cool.
Dude, it looks so cool. This is actually a big year for Xbox. This is a Microsoft produced game that'll probably be on Game Pass, and the first like 3 games, Replaced, Gears of War, and Halo, will all be on Game Pass. So there's a lot of Xbox has got a lot going on this year, software wise, game wise. So I'm very, very excited to check this out and to play it. Sad Cat Studios, I think they might be. This is their first game, and I don't want to say this before. I thought they might be from the Ukraine, Minsk, Belarus. So they've been having some issues. If you can, there's a lot going on in that part of the world, and I think that's probably been a large part of some of the issues with get the game being pushed back. Not to mention, it is their first game ever, and there are 24 employees. So this is not a big game. And I think it looks so good, and I want to buy it just to support those guys, and I hope it lives up to the hype. We'll see.
Yeah, agreed. That's a good call out. I had forgot about that one. I remember it was shown at like an Xbox showcase or something like a couple years ago, and I remember it looking really cool. So
yeah, and it just kept getting delayed over and over. So hopefully it functions, but that's always your concern with that, right? An indie team, first game, lots of problems. Definitely a candidate for the development hell moniker. Seems like it's been a really, really rough way. So you just hope the game turns out to be really high quality and people recognize it, and it makes all of those people fucking rich. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
They clearly have had a rough time of it. So hell yeah. Well, I'm a little more excited for 2026 now, guys. Apparently,
right?
Yeah,
this is going to be the year of co-op, I guess. We're just going to be playing Gears and Halo all these
kicking it old school.
Returnal, and play all these co-op
bring
games.
back
Baldur's
LAN
Gate 3.
parties.
Let's do it. Let's make it the
Please.
year of co-op. 1 year later, well, that was a fun race in Galactic Racer. You played any Baldur's Gate 3? No, I'm playing Mass Effect again. It's probably going to be mine. I'm playing through Witcher 3 again before Witcher 4 comes out next year.
Yeah, those games just feel like home.
A likely story.
It is, but we'll try. The intention is there. We'll try and do some co-op. GTA 5. That would be so fun. I haven't played it in so long. It would be so fun to go back and play that. Well, for an EXP. Well, let's see. GTA. Obviously, you can spend like practically unlimited amount of time in that game. But let's see. GTA 5. How long to beat main story? 30 to 35 hours. It's not that.
Yeah,
That's not that crazy.
Not
it's not like 100 hours for Witcher or whatever.
No. Yeah.
So, and it's good. It's fucking good. I think you guys would really love that game. So, we'll think about that one. Because Kyle, you did mention to us what you thought you wanted your EXP to be. So I have to pick next after you have. Yeah, but we have not mentioned it yet. So I don't know if you want to bring that up before we sign off. I haven't started, but I'm going to soon. I was waiting until we announced it.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I had decided it's going to be a little bit different. I didn't pick a game. The reason why I didn't pick the game is
you had one job, Kyle.
I didn't pick the game because I would never want to put you guys through that. But it is based upon the universe of League of Legends. It's the famous show Arcane. It's incredible.
I've heard.
I really enjoyed it.
Really high praise for that show.
Same.
Yeah, and I honestly came in with really low expectations, and it's the reason why I didn't really watch the first season for the longest time. People were telling me, "Oh, it's great," but they were all like League of Legends fans, and I'm like, It's just like when a Marvel fanatic says the Marvel movies are great. I'm like, I'm sure they are for you, but
right.
I have a little bit.
They're fine. It's what they are.
Yeah. And then, so there was a lot of hype around the first season, which deservedly so. But then second season came out, and then they started talking about critically acclaimed type stuff, and it started becoming a thing amongst people that didn't even watch or doesn't even play League of Legends. So, highly recommended. Even if you aren't really into like anime type shows, I think anybody who watches this would really enjoy it. I really enjoyed kind of like how mature they took that storyline. Really pleasantly surprised by that. and obviously, you know, I don't really know too much about the lore of League of Legends. Not really, people don't really pay attention to that stuff, and I don't think that the story really tried to stick to that. For the most part, it's just they kind of created their own story, and they created a wonderful story. It's, you know, added a lot more depth to some of the characters in the game that makes you feel a lot closer to them, even if you haven't played it. But yeah, I wouldn't make you guys play League of Legends, so I figured Arcane would be a close, and it's a relatively short 2 seasons. The 2 seasons won't take very long, so
Cool.
Yeah, I watched like the first 3 episodes or whatever when it first came out, and I just got distracted and never went back to it. But the 3 episodes I watched were like fantastic. So
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, right? Netflix?
yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah,
Cool.
first
Okay.
season's pretty good. Second season, really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's one
Yeah, it's one
continuous
storyline.
narrative. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah. So there
Awesome.
you go,
I'm
everybody.
down.
So if you have heard of or seen Arcane or started it, watch it again. Watch it for the first time. We'll make our way through that over the next few weeks, and we'll do an experience point, kind of summarizing and reviewing the two seasons. You said 2 full seasons.
Yep.
Are they going to make a third?
Well, they're gonna make a third, but it's technically another new story now,
Oh,
because
cool.
they definitely
so,
wrap it up in season 2.
nice. I love that, man.
Yeah,
I love not having to have 5 seasons of something. You know, Just
yeah.
tell a great story and go
Get
out
in,
on a
get
high
out.
note. Mhm.
Yeah.
Always appreciate that. Awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward. I will forward to that. I will definitely be starting it soon. It might even be like my before bed show if it's if they're not an hour plus each episode or whatever.
Yeah, I forget.
Even
I
if
think
they
they're-
are, depending on what time I head to bed. I'm going to be into that. So, great. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that.
Cool, me too.
Well, guys, this was awesome. I
Yeah.
had a great time. It's really good to be back. It's good to see your faces on these rectangular tiles again with your backgrounds. I missed your gray walls, you fucking millennials.
Yeah, I
All
know.
3 of us. All 3 of us
Mine-
with our
hey,
our
technically
gray
this is
millennial walls.
Mine are bluish gray. All right, I got
Yeah.
some color in there.
It's a little different.
I
Yeah.
won't take. None of us can take credit for the walls, but it is funny that millennial gray is a thing, and we all are
Yeah.
It
millennials,
is.
and we all happen to have grayish blue walls. in
I
here.
actually have
I
to
did
take
not
credit
paint
for
this,
mine.
all right?
No, because I
Yeah.
actually did paint mine.
You did. Well, there you go, man. There you go.
It was years
Millennial.
ago, but yeah.
Millennial gray. I watched a YouTube video that sort of explained like how and why that happened. It was very interesting.
Huh.
Oh, I
I didn't
bet.
really pay attention to that. That's funny until you mentioned that. But
Well, it's kind of like a Gen Z was starting to point it out because they were like, "Oh my God, bring back some fucking color! What is wrong with you guys?" But then
yeah,
the video kind of explained how and why that happened and how it became a trend. And I think I find that kind of weird societal generational stuff to be very
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a cycle, right? Everything
Yeah.
just comes back around when
Yeah,
it's been
things
out
change
for a while.
and there's usually good reason for it, right?
Yeah.
I've always said, I think I may have even said this on the show, like I have a personal goal of mine as I grow older, is to not immediately react to everything I hear about a new generation and go, "That's fucking stupid. We
Yeah.
used to do that." I hated that so much growing up. Like
Me too.
people telling me that I was entitled because I was a millennial, and people telling me that my generation wasn't good at this, or they wouldn't stop talking about this or whatever. I'm like, you were fucking annoying to your parents, like,
Yeah.
and you were annoying to your previous generation. Like it's all the same
Yeah.
story over and over. It's just different things, and people are gonna have dumb phrases, and 6'7" is fine. And mid is a great phrase. Like Gen Z, you
Mid
do your
is
thing.
great.
You do
Yeah.
your thing, you guys. Like, I love
It
all
slaps,
all
dude.
the stuff that my nephew Riley says is great. It slaps, like fire, all that stuff, dude. Like, it's
Fire,
good.
yeah.
They have good.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they have good.
You end up
it's-
picking it up too, like
Hell yeah.
secondhand.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Ah, stupid Gen Z language." We
Yeah, dude,
used to
I-
say, it's like, what?
Yeah, I know. I say lit all the time too. I was just like, sometimes
Back
and,
in
like,
my day,
especially-
we said you killed it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, okay, that's pretty stupid too because they're kids,
Right.
and kids are dumb. So
I
we
think
just
mid
go
is
with
mid is perfect. You can't find a better
that. Mid
word
is
for
so,
that.
dude. Mid is so
Yeah.
good.
It is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's just tip of the cap, Gen Z.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, everyone listening, thank you so much. Happy 2026. We're back. We'll be back almost every week. We will do our Xbox 360 episode at some point. That kind of
We
got
will.
delayed, and I
We
definitely
still
want
got
to
write-ins for it too. So
celebrate the birthday of 360 a couple months ago. So we'll still do that, and maybe use it as a way to just talk about a little bit of the future of Xbox again too, because things are always changing and consoles and all that stuff. It's just interesting, weird times we're living in. So I hope you all have a wonderful, safe weekend. If you are fans of football, have a great time watching the wild card playoffs. If your team is playing, good luck, maybe, depending on your team. And Kyle and I, for once, get to sit back and relax and wait to see who's coming to our doorstep, and that's going to be an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So,
good luck, guys.
man, not quite stressing yet. I'll start stressing on like Sunday night. That's just after that game is over. That's when I'll begin to build up a lot of tension and get worried and nervous. So until then, everybody, we will see you all next time. Later.
Happy New Year, guys. Stay safe.
See ya.